traders, just going to do a quick video review today over what happened today with the pound in terms of the Bank of England members voting, or 3 of them now voting for an interest rate hike instead of a 1 before, and why this is quite significant. And I'll explain the picture and how it paints a picture about the pound moving forward. So since Brexit, the pound dropped by 20% in value against pretty much all the major currencies, right? So that means that people in the UK purchasing goods and services from abroad in terms of their business, if you're importing wood, if you're importing cutlery, if you're importing clothes, anything you're importing, the purchasing power of each pound was then 20% less than it was before, which means purchasing goods and services from abroad becomes more expensive. And of course, businesses still want to make profit. So when they have to pay more, they pass on that cost to the customer, which means prices for things rise in the economy, which is called inflation, right? So what's happened since Brexit is inflation's got really high. It's then gone to 2.9%. And now the central bank's target for inflation is 2%, right? They only want goods and services to rise in the value of 2% per year. Right now it's at 2.9%. It's 0.9% higher than they want it to be. Plus, on top of that, wages for individuals in the country are not increasing. So you need wages to be higher than inflation. So as inflation increases, people's wages are getting at least double, they're increasing by at least double the amount of inflation. So 4% you should really want wages to increase by, which means that the public are not getting poorer basically. But at the moment, wages are not increasing and inflation is getting higher and higher and higher, and it's way above the central bank's target, which means, of course, that the central bank will then turn around and say, okay, we need to raise interest rates, which will raise people's costs on mortgages, credit cards, car loans, anything that you have a payment for, that you've borrowed money for. Your interest payments are going to go up. So that's going to cause you to have to spend less in every month, which is going to cause you to save more. And also, as interest rates go up, remember that your savings accounts in your bank offer you better rates, so people start to save more, so there's less money being spent, and obviously less money being spent means there's less demand for goods and services in the economy, and less demands mean people will bring down their prices, and that will bring inflation down. So previously, last month, look, only 1 member was saying we need a rate hike, but then inflation data came out this week and it was 2.9%. It was previously 2.7%, so now it's nearly 3%, or nearly a 1% increase than the central bank really wants, and it's getting too high. So now 2 more members are saying they want an interest rate hike, which is now gone from 7 to 1 to now 5 to 3. So you're pretty much at 50-50. So we know that this central bank's tone is now changing, and they're not really being tolerant towards inflation. And if interest rate get hiked, what does that do? That gives investors better returns on any investment in the UK, especially on government bonds or corporate bonds. So we have to see how the market reacts, because there's still this whole thing about the hung parliament and the UK trying to get a parliament together. But at the same time, it now means Theresa May can't have a hard Brexit. So it actually puts the pound in a pretty good position. So we could see the pound, so we are seeing now slowly start to raise higher against the yen. It should start to push up. We have to wait and see what happens, because remember, we still need a good government to do a Brexit deal. So there is a bit of uncertainty, but this thing with the central bank that just came out today, with the voting hike of 3 members, this is key. This is key. So that's just the fundamentals of the pound. Now, yesterday the US central bank increases interest rates yesterday, and they also said that they expect inflation to pick up. So all USD selling that's been happening recently is really going to slow down, and we might start to see the US dollar start to creep higher. Because, as I mentioned, guys, I sent it to you already, but if you haven't sent it, send me a direct message. I'll send you a private PDF file where I explained interest rates and why interest rates are important for a currency and how it gives a currency value. So look, since yesterday, look how aggressively the dollar's moved up. Now we probably will see a move back higher to 1112 resistance. So let's just see if this price area breaks today and we can buy to the upside. Yeah. That's just a quick update if you guys understand stuff. Any questions, give me a shout.